McHugh, Cameron Meehan from Gympie driving car number 2. His first appearance for our brand new racing season. Graham Lehman, 05. One important race scratching. Obviously the storm this afternoon may have deterred the racing of Paul O'Neill out of New South Wales. And the Weatherall Prestige Auto Body car 11, the twice national leader sprint car champion. Didn't this guy put in the big ones during his initial Saturday night Super Sedan car debut in the way of Michael G, car 11, row 1, Peter Warren, Shane Polger. Sitting back in row number 2, Bob Jomdon. The White Commodore, car number 88, Blair Grange in 5, Al starting, Jamie McHugh, Cameron Meehan, Graham Lehman and Michael G. This one should be out. Firecracker Speedway fans, heat number 1. Are they circulating quickly, coming out of the 1-2 turns, going up the back straight. The fastest milkman in the eastern seaboard of Australia grabs the race lead. The Breaker Milk car working perfectly, going across the start finish line. Peter Warren in second placing, back into third. Blair Grange ahead of Jamie McHugh. A little bit of contact down there on turns 1 and 2 between the number 11 car of Michael G and Bobby Domjohn working the Bowling back straight away, back into fourth placing. Al Starling, car number 88, Cameron Meehan and Graham Lehman, but certainly all eyes on the first 4 cars. Are they circulating quickly, going up the back straight away? Shane Polger, Peter Warren, the Sunshine Coast racer. Blair Granger in third, Jamie McHugh out of Miami, Smash Repairs. The ex-Lindsay Hawkins, Queensland 1 racer, and a immaculately turned out race car, but I'd say it's all over bar the shouting. Can he do quick time later on during tonight's show, during our Western Finance Top 10 shootout? It's all Shane Polger. And the Breaker Milk, car number 37 in full flight, work in the back straight away. Driving away from the second place, Peter Warren, car number 18, and Blair Granger, the Retrovision Bridgestone Tyre Service racer ahead of Jamie McHugh. Jamie McHugh making up 1 or 2 laps on the third place. Blair Granger in car number 5, Michael G. In the Weatherall Prestige Auto Body ahead of Al Starling, car number 89, and Bob Jomdon, not quite as quick a drive as we've seen here 2 Saturday nights ago from Cameron Meehan out of Gympie, the number 2 racer, but Shane Polger. This car dynamic in its quest for victory during the first decider. Across the start-finish line, 1 lap to go, and it's all Shane Polger, the left-hand wheel, waves in the air, coming out of turn number 2, about to lap the Graham Lehman car up there on the 3-4 turns. Peter Warren in second, and Blair Granger, but Speedway fans, the winner, heat number 1, going to the 37 car. Shane Polger for second, car number 18, Peter Warren, and across the strike for third. One hell of a drive to Blair Granger in car 5. The rest of the field is completing the 8-lap journey, but Speedway fans have had a big round of applause for him. The fastest milkman, Shane Polger. Come on, Archerfield, put your hands together for him. The Breaker Milk, car number 37, is this guy looking good to take tonight's program by storm. Peter Warren in Sunshine Coast, 18 second, and the immaculately turned out Bridgestone Windsor racer and Retrovision of Blair Granger, car number 5, finishing in third. The winner's time at 2:04.8. Jeff O'Keefe, car number 35, occupying row number 2. John McGeorge, the inside, racing out of 5. Row number 3, coming out of turn number 2. The outside, Ross Brems out of northern New South Wales, car number 77. The American Truck Parts, and Rodney Goff sharing row number 4. With Corey Bruff. Speedway fans are start moments away. Heat number 2, $250,000 cash line, vehicle transport, high-tech oils, and Cannonball Racing. Green lights turned on. Action time across the start finish line. Look at these 2 top guns, and John Leslight. He said, I'll see you back in pit row. Shane Polger may have won heat number 1. I want to set fast time and start out of position number 1 for tonight's feature race. The American Truck Parts car certainly in the Archerfield Speedway circular light. In second placing, Kelvin Hamilton, car number 99, doing a brilliant job. Ahead of Brian Nissen, car number 7, the Challengers coming thick and fast, working on the back colour straight away. In the way of Johnny McGeorge and Rod Goff. Those 4 cars, you could throw a tally-ho cigarette paper over the 4 cars going across the start-finish line, while the 1-2 combination set the pace, set the tempo, going up the back straight away in the way of John Leslight and Kelvin Hamilton. Hasn't Kelvin Hamilton taken the Super Sedan car racing like a duck to water, one of the top guns in the leader division, and there's not many guys that run strongly from an open wheel division to a Super Sedan, and that's exactly what we're seeing from Kelvin Hamilton going up the back straight. It's a seesawing dice for the third and fourth placing between the Brian Nissan racer and John McGeorge, last meeting's feature race winner, the ex-Australian champion. Corey Bruff and Cameron Meehan about to be lapped very, very shortly by this tearaway combination. Hasn't Kelvin Hamilton got a beautiful setup in this car number 99? That left-hand wheel hikes high in the air coming out of the top turns. Brian Nissan certainly putting up the drive of a lifetime to contain the two big guns of Super Sedan racing in the way of John McGeorge, car number 3, and Rodney Goff and John McGeorge just light contact. The left-hand side of the Coca-Cola sign on the back fence. John McGeorge looking for an inside or an outside passing move on this Brian Nissan racer in turn. The lap car of Corey Bruff coming out of the 3-4 turns for our race leader, John Leslie, the American Truck Parts, car number 81. He's on his victory lap, Speedway fans. Kelvin Hamilton following through in car number 99. Back to third, Brian Nissan and John McGeorge, but it's all over by the shouting. The blue and white rocket, Johnny Leslie, heat number 2, car number 81 first. Kelvin Hamilton, the 99 car for second, and third placing has in this guy come on like the gangbusters. In car number 7, the Auto 1 car from the Darling Downs. One thing remaining, Speedway fans, put your hands together for him. Come on, Archerfield. John Leslie. Give him a big round of applause, trackside. Car number 81 first, second placing. A brilliant drive from Kelvin Hamilton, and the same words can be said for the Darling Downs flyer in car 7, Brian Nissan. Comparing our race times, 2:04.37 during heat number 1, 2:09.59 in heat 2. From Weatherall Prestige Auto Bodies Saturday night race car. What a fitting climax out there on the Speedway circuit. The pace car and also his gun driver in the way of Michael G, the twice national leader sprint car champion, has certainly taken the Super Sedan car racing like a duck to water, sitting alongside of Graham Lehman. Blair Granger certainly putting in the big ones during the first qualifying heat. Al Starling out of New South Wales, Bob Donjon, car number 88. Can Shane Polger make a 2 starts, 2 wins? And also Peter Warren, can he possibly get through this high-powered field in car number 18? Across the white line, a start moments away. We are ready. Heat number 3, Super Sedan car action. Michael G takes off like a man possessed down there on turns 1 and 2. Could he lead for the entire 8-lap encounter, increasing that race lead going up the back straight away. Graham Lehman in second. Jamie McHugh throws the motor car sideways on. Have a look at Mr. Thrills. He rides the high line coming out of the 3-4 turns down the main straight. Shane Polger in car number 37. It's a congested field. Nose to tail racing going up the back straight away. They certainly won't want to let Michael G get too far ahead. This Weatherall Prestige Auto Body car working at 3 going across the start finish line. Graham Lehman, Jamie McHugh and Cameron Meehan. How close do you go? Polger once again knows there's only one way round if he wants to fill a major placing during heat number 3. He's going to ride that high line every centimetre of the Archerfield Speed Bowl. Side by side, Graham Lehman and Jamie McHugh sitting back in 4th placing. Cameron Meehan about to challenge going up the back straight. Blair Granger and Shane Polger. Have a look at Blair Granger. They're sitting back behind the 2nd, 3rd and 4th place cars, saying to himself, if I can find an inside or an outside passing move, I'll get that retrovision car into 2nd or 3rd placing, working the back straight away. That Jamie McHugh, but I'd say it's all over. Father shouting, he's all set for his first Saturday night race victory out here at Archerfield International Speedway. Michael G and the Prestige Auto Body car of Weatherall Smash Affairs working the back straight away. Jamie McHugh in second. Graham Lehman, Cameron Meehan, Blair Granger and Shane Polger. Possibly Shane Polger was saying, well look, I was working the engine overtime round the outside. The high dirt going up towards the concrete wall. Oh, there's settle down for a pole line drive down there on turns 1 and 2. But Michael G, Ford Falcon, a commanding race lead across the start finish line. The Weatherall Prestige Auto Body car, 2nd placing. Jamie McHugh, car number 23, would take a brave man to predict 3rd, 4th and 5th placing. But your race winner, Speedway fans, Michael G and the Weatherall Prestige Auto Body car, the winner, heat number 3. 2nd placing, Miami Smash Repairs, Jamie McHugh. And officially 3rd, Yes, I'm just wondering what happened down there on turns 1 and 2 regarding the Cameron Meehan racer. I was so intent watching the action, 3rd, 4th and 5th. But Speedway fans, how about a big round of applause for him? Let's hear it. Michael G. Speedway fans, put your hands together for him. The Prestige Auto Body Racer, car 11 first. 2nd would go to Jamie McHugh, car number 23. Lehman 3rd. And Graham Lehman at the 05 Darling Downs racer, officially 3rd. Looks like a time going off the back timer at this point in time. Ross Prims on the front row, obviously Corey Brough. A late scratching also during heat number 4. Front row going up the back straight, the pole sitter out of New South Wales, Ross Prims, car number 77. Rodney Goff in car number 4, racing out of 2. Last meeting's feature race winner would dearly love to make it back-to-back feature race wins during tonight's show. Also one driver that I'm certainly missing out there trackside, Ian Marshall. Hopefully next meeting here at Archerfield we'll see Ian Marshall back. And that Pete Mackay's Tyres car, 2 cars side by side, make it 3 cars as they attack turn number 2, going up the back straight away. Ross Prims, Rodney Goff out of Rockhampton, and John McGeorge sitting in 3rd placing, Kelvin Hamilton and Brian Nissan just a touch up there on the 3-4 turns coming down the main straight away. Also Johnny Leslie, car number 81 for one name, and Ross Prims getting the 81 car off the pole line as he works up the back straight away. Tell you what, don't the Super Sedans get the adrenaline pumping out here on a Saturday night of Archerfield Speedway racing. Ross Prims from Brims Earth Moving certainly lighting up the Archerfield Speed Bowl. Rodney Goff and John McGeorge today having a ding-donger for the 2nd and 3rd placings. John Leslie having Brian Nissan and Kelvin Hamilton. Oh, Kelvin Hamilton, John Leslie. Contact between those 2 cars up there on turn number 4. Obviously bring your yellow flashing lights on at this point in time. Hardly a scratch on the bodywork of the John Leslie, car number 81. John McGeorge in 3. Brian Nissan, car 7. Yes. Okay, a start moments away to seeing your orange cone being placed on the back straight away. The race leader can go on every likes. Ross Prims, car number 77, accelerating the right-hand side of the Weatherall and Coca-Cola sign on the back fence. Rodney Goff, desperate to come underneath the Ross Prims car going across the start finish line. And John McGeorge, Brian Nissan and John Leslie. This is absolutely heart-stopping Super Sedan car, super action. During heat number 4, 2 cars virtually side by side coming out of the 3-4 turns down the main straight. Ross Prims and Rodney Goff sitting back in 3rd placing. John McGeorge saying, well, look, I don't want to get involved with those 2 cars. They're virtually running red hot in the 1-2. The big one on tonight's Speedway card. They want to take out the 30-lap feature race. Ross Prims looking superb in their 77 Brims Earth Moving car out of New South Wales. Rodney Goff, American Truck Parts, 2nd placing, working the back straight. And the AS Concrete Pumping Service car, now John Leslie 2 on the inside of Brian Nissan. Those 2 drivers virtually side by side across the start-finish line. He lights up the Speedway circuit. Ross Prims drives away from Rodney Goff in 2nd placing in turn. The AS Concrete Pumping Service car. Last meeting's feature race winner, John McGeorge. 1 lap to go. Lapping the 35 car of Jeff O'Keefe coming out of turn number 2, going up the back straight. Checkered flag, 77, Ross Prims first. The Rockhampton Rocket, Rodney Goff, car number 4 for 2nd, and 3rd placing going to John McGeorge in car 3. Speedway fans, put your hands together for him. Ross Prims, give him a big round of applause trackside. A brilliant drive, a top time, 1:19.02. Ross Prims out of New South Wales, car number 77 first. Hell of a series, over $250,000 up for grabs. Can it be the main out of pole position? At the truck, Sandra said. We have a correction for tonight's raffle. Would you please pick up your winning ticket at Speedway office? We did mention earlier on the Barry Pierce truck down there in pit road that has been corrected. Your prize, that purple C33, is now available at Speedway office. Race fans, are you ready? This is it. the big one on tonight's Archerfield Speedway show. Canopy, the American truck parts, and Rod Goff lead for the inside encounter. Canopy, Jamie McHugh, Michael G, Shane Bolger and John Leslie. The pace, an absolute firecracker down there on turns 1 and 2. Heavy contact between Michael G, John Leslie as they work the back straight away. Shane Bolger, he snookered for room outside the timer on the back straight away, but up front, the Miami Smash Repairs car showing the fastest way around the Archerfield Speed Bowl. John Leslie and Michael G, are they having a ding-donger down there on turns 1 and 2? John Leslie desperate to go underneath the number 11 ex-Jamie McHugh car going up the back straight. Shane Bolger sitting back in 5th placing coming out of the 3-4 turns. Kelvin Hamilton putting up one hell of a drive in Cannonball 99, followed by the New South Wales 77 of Ross Brim's Jamie McHugh. Is he looking sharp in this Miami Smash Affairs 23 racer? Turns up the wick across the start finish line, 2nd placing. Only his first start during our new Speedway season for the Rockhampton Rockets. Rod Goff in 2nd placing. Michael G, is he making a few heads turn in this 30-lap encounter? Shane Bolger and John Leslie, they are panel to panel, wheel to wheel across the start finish line. We should see the Cameron Meehan car getting lapped very shortly up there on the 3-4 turns. This will make things interesting. Sportingly pulling up towards the concrete wall coming down the main straight. Jamie McHugh and Rod Goff. I would say Rod Goff may have closed that margin, but now Jamie McHugh certainly opening up that big race lead going up the back straight. Obviously the Rod Goff car having power to burn. It's a Michael G putting up a superhuman drive containing the 2 big guns of Super Sedan car racing. The smoke in the Shane Bolger car down there on turns 1 and 2. Is there a problem in the Breaker Milk racer? Michael G closing on the 2nd place. Rod Goff going across the start finish line. John Leslie, that smoke getting worse each time round. Is there a panel rubbing against one of the wheels, or is it a motor problem for Shane Bolger as we follow the Shane Bolger car coming out? Oh, John Leslie and Shane Bolger. There's obviously no love lost between those 2 top guns of the Super Sedan car division. This now puts Shane Bolger in 4th placing going up the back straight away. A protest flag being shown to the Breaker Milk car has on Rod Goff. Closed quickly on Jamie McHugh working past the back timer. Could be a very interesting dice. Kelvin Hamilton, or is it Al Starling? Al Starling onto the infield, back onto the Speedway circuit. Rod Goff almost executing a passing move on Jamie McHugh down there on turns 1 and 2. These lap cars, anything can happen round about the 8-lap distance into this 30-lap Super Sedan car feature race. Rod Goff and Jamie McHugh, still the smoke emulating out of the Breaker Milk car of Shane Bolger going up the back straight. Bob Domjohn sportingly pulling out over, coming out of the 3-4 turns. At this point in time, allowed a bit of breathing space. But Jamie McHugh working past the back timer, 2nd placing still Rod Goff. Michael G deciding where to go in the weather. Oh, Shane Bolger and Michael G. Both the cars quickly getting by up there on the 3-4 turns. Can Michael G come back? He dives underneath Shane Bolger. The yellow lights being turned on trackside, obviously contact. Wow! Are we seeing one of the most hectic encounters that we've seen for quite a lot of seasons out here in the Super Sedan car division? Obviously, Michael G is certainly, well, G by name, and he's certainly G'd up. This Weatherall Prestige Auto Body Racer running strongly in 3rd placing. A very interesting lineup ready for the restart. Brian Nissan out of the Darling Downs facing the wrong direction up there on the top turns. Looks like the Ross Brim 77 car from northern New South Wales setting a very quick time during our 1-lap West Ends Finance. Michael G quite okay. Is it going to be Jamie McHugh? Will obviously start in position number 1. John Stewart, Robbie Hinks checking over the Al Starling car. For one moment, it may be a left-hand front side deflated on the Michael G car. Is quickly checking out this Weatherall Prestige Auto Body Racer. Faye, is that a flat tyre on Michael G? Michael G, the left-hand front. Yes, we're just trying to confer up. Yes, just checking the monitor. Thanks, Shane. That is a cruel blow to Michael G in car number 11. A driver's side left-hand front side of plate on this Weatherall Prestige Auto Buddy car. The driver, as far as I'm concerned, certainly doing one hell of a job during tonight's feature race. Maybe Michael G electing to continue in this number 11 car, will saying, look, I can put all the weight on the right-hand side of the racer. Obviously trying to get the Al Starling car onto the infield at this point in time. Yes, unfortunately, Al Starling not happy having to pull car number 89 onto the infield. He certainly loves the Saturday night speedway scene. The man out of Maitland in New South Wales joining Cameron Meehan, unfortunately, on the crossover. In the next few weeks, as soon as we're able to get that sign on our timer, thanks to George Bryan and the crew from Centenary Real Estate, we'll have the laps being counted down as the cars do their various 6 laps, 12 laps or 30 laps, whatever the case may be. So it is passing on to you, our Speedway fans, the new innovation. A lap down in car number 88 should be starting rear of field behind the Cameron Meehan car out of the Sunshine Coast. Certainly a beautifully turned out race car down there on turns 1 and 2. The action aplenty up front. Jamie McHugh, Rodney Goff, John Leslight, anxious to go racing, Shane Bolger, and Michael G. Acceleration time, the left-hand side of our back timer. Can Jamie McHugh lead for the remaining laps of the 9:30-lap feature race? Can it be an American front parts car in the way of Rodney Goff? And also John Leslight, Shane Bolger, breathing fire and brimstone, working the back straight away. That motor car from Weatherall Prestige Auto Body must be an absolute handful to haul around the racetrack in the hands of Michael G. That left-hand front tyre flat to the ground. Rodney Goff certainly closing quickly on the 23 car of Jamie McHugh, working the back straight away. Oh, can we see a passing move? They are virtually side by side. Jamie McHugh and Rod Goff, John Leslight sitting back in third placing, waiting for something to happen up front. John Leslight, certainly the real tactician. Whoa, John Leslight and Rodney Goff. Now Michael G scoots through into third placing. This is a race of changing fortunes. Tonight's 30 lap Coastline Vehicle Transport. Ross Brims, fourth placing, coming out of turn number 2, going up the back straight. There's plenty of fresh air at this point in time between the Jamie McHugh car and the second place, Rod Goff in car number 4, Michael G. Ahead of Ross Brims, John Leslight, desperate to finish at a major placing during tonight's 30-lap encounter, looking for an inside passing move on Ross Brims, working the back straight. Ross Brims and John Leslight, certainly 2 cars not to be missed. Shane Bolger, desperate to make up the leeway. He's obviously giving that McHugh motor full acceleration at every point around the Archerfield Speedway. Smoke once again coming out of the Shane Bolger car. That it's all systems go on the start-finish line. Watch this dice. This is no doubt hair racing, Super Sedan car racing. Ross Brims, John Leslight and Shane Bolger. The question mark, 10 laps remaining, Speedway fans. The question mark is, do you watch the Jamie McHugh, Rod Goff battle up front, or third, fourth and fifth placing going past the Valmilion and Coke timer? John Leslight, he's virtually tried every trick in the book. Here's Shane Bolger. He said, if you can't get past all this dial, this breaker milk car, round the outside on the start-finish line, it's frantic Saturday night speedway racing. Look at Bolger. No wonder he's called Mr. Thrills. Oh, slams the race car into the concrete wall on the back straight. I tell you what, I don't get lost for words many times out here on a race night, but that is certainly wretched luck. That's the only word I can describe at this point in time for Shane Bolger. Certainly, without any fear of contradiction, the true showman of Super Sedan car racing. That would... Your hands together for him, Shane Bolger. G him up. Give him a big round of applause down the main straight. This guy deserves every hand clap, every round of applause. I tell you what, they just don't come no tougher than this breaker milk car and Shane Bolger on the main straight. Just getting Robbie Hinks, the machine examiner, to check out the race car. No, unfortunately, pulling into the crossover. That is a shame for Shane Polger. Third placing during our first round of Saturday night Cannonball racing out here at the Astrodome. The field, it's certainly a high-powered affair going up the back straight. Your left-hand front flat. Still driving with that left-hand front tyre flat to the ground on the Michael G. Car number 11. Is he doing one hell of a job to haul this race car around the Archerfield Speedway, virtually on 3 wheels down there on turns 1 and 2. A very disillusioned Shane Polger just obviously telling the story of what went wrong to his pit crew down there on the infield. Steve Walters and the crew. Okay, it's happening once again, Speedway fans. 8 laps remaining during tonight's feature race coming out of the 3-4 turns. Can we see a passing move between Rodney Goff and Jamie McHugh, who set the pace, set the tempo since the outset of this 30-lap feature race? Michael G. I bet the arms are almost falling off the Michael G. Car 11. Ross Brims and John Leslide occupying 4th and 5th placings coming out of the 3-4 turns. Kelvin Hamilton, Brian Nissan, Graham Lehman and Bobby Donjohn. But up front, that margin certainly closing quickly coming out of the top turns between the race leader and the Miami Smash Repairs car and American Truck Parts. Rodney Goff in 2nd placing, back in a 3rd. Goff almost sure on the inside of Jamie McHugh down there on turn number 2. Look at Michael G. He's got this Ford Falcon breathing fire and brimstone. Behind the Rod Goff car coming out of the top turns, is there room for an inside passing move on the start-finish line? Have a look at the Ross Brims, John Leslide duel further back on the pack. Is it all happening at every centimetre around tonight's Archerfield Speed Bowl? Anyone who says Super Sedans don't get the adrenaline pumping, all I can say is they're certainly very hard to please indeed. This is Champagne Racing. Jamie McHugh, John Leslide and Ross Brims just a touch down there on the bottom turns. Jamie McHugh, Rodney Goff and Michael G. Michael G. He's still flat tyre or no flat tyre, looking now in 2nd placing. Rodney Goff, unfortunately the fire going out in the motor department of the American Truck Parts. Tell you what, there is that many hard luck stories after tonight's 30-lap race. You could virtually write an entire Speedway magazine as to what's happened during this 30-lap encounter in the Super Sedan car division. Jamie McHugh, this has been one hell of a drive. He's led from the onset. Michael G. in 2nd placing, 3rd spot, John Leslide, car number 81, and Ross Brims, they're reeling off the victory lap on the back straight away. The Miami Smash Repairs, Top Gun, picks up the checker, Jamie McHugh, car number 23, 1st. The 2nd, Michael G, car 11, and finishing in 3rd, American Truck Parts and John Leslide. Speedway fans, I ask you, was that one hell of a race? Let's hear it, Archerfield. Jamie McHugh. Come on, Speedway fans, put your hands together for him. How about a big round of applause? 2nd placing, the Weatherall Prestige Auto Body Car and Michael G. 3rd placing, the winner of last series $250,000 Cannonball and Coastline Vehicle Transport in car number 81, John Leslide.